Hey YouTube, so we're out in front of my new trailer here, and I've been doing a few modifications on the inside, mainly painting and getting it just ready for the use of it. And what I've done is I've ordered a window. I'm going to stick it right in the doorway here, just because that probably is the simplest place to put it, as you wouldn't be insulating it necessarily, typically. So rather than put it in the walls or anything like that, I'm just going to put it right in through the door here. I picked it up on Amazon. I believe it was about $80. I'll leave the link in the description for that. Kind of cool thing about this one is, number one, it's tinted already, and then on top of that, it's actually got a blind. To be honest, I thought when I was purchasing it that, well, I should say I was hoping that it was in between two panels of glass, so then the blind would never get dirty or anything, but turns out my high hopes were kind of crushed. It just does ride on the outside here, but it does have its own channel to ride in, so it's still pretty nice, and it's ready to go. I mean, it comes with all the seals and everything already put on it. It installs with only just some Phillips screws. So basically it's just going to sandwich itself over the top of the hole you cut out. So this window is typically made actually just as a replacement for a standard camper door window. But they do actually give you a template on the back here for you to cut out and use that in order to make your hole in the door, should you not have one already. Alright, so to start, I'm going to cut out that template. Alright, so now that I got the template cut out, I'm just going to double check and make sure it lines up with the frame that needs to go in there. So it feels good. So the next thing I'm going to do is just find the center of this template, and I'm going to find the center of my door. Alright you guys, so now that I got this center marked out on here and on my trailer itself, I want to position this as high as I possibly can without interfering with this latch, obviously. I've got about 3/8 of an inch of reveal on the outside of this that's going to need to accompany. So I'm just going to place it about a 1/2 inch away from there to play it safe. I'm going to line up my marks on top and bottom, and then I'm just going to trace my template. So what I'm going to do to cut this out, I'm going to just drill a pilot hole with a, I mean, it's 7/16, not that that matters, just as long as it's big enough for your jigsaw blade to get in. And then I'm going to use that, and it's a metal cutting blade. Not that you necessarily probably would need it with a aluminum sheet like this, but just make sure that it's going to be long enough in order to cut through the interior plywood as well. Alright, I'm not sure if that was a waste of time using that metal blade. I'm switching to more of a wood blade now, just because we're cutting through all this thick wood. Alright you guys, well there you have it. The hole has been cut in my trailer. Perfect. Alright, now I'm just going to clean it up with some alcohol and wipe down those seals, because they have accumulated a little bit of dirt on them. Alright, you guys, so after looking at it from this side, I've noticed that this sealant isn't sufficient. That hole is just from that template was a little bit too big. So I'm going to take some butyl tape here, and I'm going to go right over the top of this and make it a little bit more wide. Alright, that's going to make me feel a lot better about this. Alright, you guys, so what I actually just ran into the problem of is this thing, I believe it must require 2 inches of thickness for the window to work properly. So what I actually had to do is cut some strips of rubber, and I'm sure you could make like a template out of wood and just go around the perimeter with this. But I actually just ended up cutting these strips out, so they're 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to use that as a border, and then I'm going to tuck in pretty much like right after I install this. So I'm just going to use that as a gap, or a filler to bridge the gap.
Hey guys, so it's been a while since I put in this window in my trailer here, and I've just been letting it go just because it's been working just fine, but I've been meaning to change the way I did this. As you can see, I have it pulled back, that rubber I put in there. I'm going to make a piece out of plywood here and just make a gap. It's going to be just 5/8 plywood to get me up to the thickness. It should give me a little bit more than the 1/2 inch of the rubber did. And so I'm just going to cut that out on the saw, and then just use the jigsaw to clean everything up, and I'll just use this as a tracer. So first thing I'm going to do is get this removed and use it as a template. Alright, you guys, so just a little update. I cut out this 5/8 sheet plywood, 17 by 26, I believe. Yeah, it's 17 by 26. I traced around the outline of the window frame there. It's about 3/8 inch in you have, so I've got about a 1 inch reveal overall. So I just used the skill saw, cut out all the inside, and then now I just got to do the radiuses with the jigsaw. Just a little update, and then I'll sand her all up. Alright, got it all sanded up. It's ready for paint. Alright, so one thing I did real quick is I just cut some 1-bys, so it's 3/4 inch wide just to match what was here existing. There was one coming out that went across that I had actually cut previously. So instead, because even though that was there, let me slip this out for a sec. The issue that you have is the window actually sandwiches this, so there was nothing there for it to really bite onto. So just by sticking this in there, and I'm not even going to screw it in or anything, it's just going to be the compression of those screws holding the window. That'll hold it firmly and be able to give it something to bite onto. I did the same thing over here, except this is part of the door assembly for the latch, so I left it in here and then just cut a little piece to go up on top. But just to give you an example, you know, it kind of squeezes on there just like so. So without anything there, it's really nothing for that window to hold on to, and you're relying on the butyl tape completely. So next I'm going to throw the window back in here, and we should be all good to go. Alright, you guys, so here's the finished product here. That's all mounted there. You can see I got that border on it now. I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit of a chore to try and get these screws to line up and get everything tight, especially now that it's the appropriate depth. And to be honest with you, I don't think you really want to go too far over depth, so you might want to consider that, because then there's nothing pushing up against the glass here in order to keep it in track. Otherwise it could honestly just fall out. I don't understand exactly how they make something like this, especially when they say it can vary in depth. So all I gotta do is just trim off the little bit of butyl that spewed out, which I consider to be a good sign, meaning that everything got good and sealed. So I'm just gonna take a little plastic razor to that, and that should be it. I hope this video helped you. If it did, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.